Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Today I'd like to talk about exploration. It is a largely undeveloped area of the game, yet nonetheless an area of the game that has quite a large number of players actively involved with it. Elite possesses a vast galaxy with all manner of different areas to explore and all manner of different sights to see. It's perhaps one of the largest game worlds ever created. From this perspective, it's really not that hard to see why so many people find exploration an attractive idea. Yet, there are indeed many people involved with it, and for most of them, they all have different ideas of just what exploration means to them. Unlike many of the other areas of the game, such as trading and combat, exploration really can't be folded up into one nice little package because it has so many different areas, it means so many different things. So before we go any further into this video, let's have a look at a few of the ideas of just how exploration can differ from person to person. We'll start with the classic explanation of exploration, the one which the game itself uses, and that revolves around scanning planets to gain credits, as well as improve your exploration rank. Interestingly enough, this is one of the only areas of exploration that has some purposely designed game mechanics to actually support it. So some other ideas of exploration are finding undiscovered locations so that the player can get the discovered by tag attached to the planet. Some of these ideas about exploration are of course intrinsically linked with each other. Scanning planets to gain credits is not that far removed from discovering a planet so that you can get the discovered by tag. Yet there are many people that choose one mode over the other. Some people aren't that worried about getting the credits, not worried about their exploration rank, but they're all out for finding the discovered by tags. It's a different approach to the same mechanic and highlights how the exploration can mean different things even within subsets of the community. As such, another idea about exploration is heading on out into space, either within an inhabited area or preferably out into the depths of uncharted space to look for valuable or rare planets. Not everyone does this for the purpose of gaining credits or even for gaining the discovered by tag. For some people, heading out there into the depths of space to find the rare and the unknown is purpose enough to find something that no one has ever seen before. And this is perhaps related to another subset of explorers, those who enjoy to sightsee, looking for places of beauty within the galaxy, within systems, within nebula, or even down on planets themselves, amongst the mountains, among the canyons and the craters, or among the other geological formations that are down there on the variety of planets. Because the galaxy is as large as it is, it also attracts those with a sense of wanderlust, wandering around the galaxy simply for the sake of wandering, never knowing what is around the next corner, looking always toward the horizon. This is something that I personally find immensely appealing, and there are very few games out there that actually offer this type of gameplay. Due to the vastness of Elite, it is something that can be achieved quite easily within the game. Yet, again, like many of the other aspects of exploration, there are no real in-game mechanics to actually support this. And finally, there are those that like to go out and identify and catalogue planets, stars, systems, as well as the material makeup of all these things. There are no doubt many other definitions for exploration too, but sticking with these few for now, as you can see they all have very different meanings and very different playstyles, and it's little wonder that even within the exploration community itself, it's divided up into many different ideas of just what exploration actually means. It's a testament then to Elite that it can support this form of gameplay. However, there are no in-game mechanics to drive this gameplay. Essentially, all of these different ideas are supported by the nature of the game world itself. For now, it's the fact that the galaxy itself is so vast and so diverse that it's able to support these various forms of gameplay. So, stepping away from the immensity of the galaxy itself, what is there in terms of game mechanics to support all of these different playstyles? Well, if we're being perfectly honest with ourselves, we'd have to admit that there is actually very little there. All we really have in terms of exploration game mechanics are two scanner systems, as well as a very basic and unwieldy point of interest system. And perhaps the best tool available to us at the right now for exploration is of course the SRV wave scanner. Yet the bottom line is that all of these are just basic tools. They don't really lend themselves to emergent or in-depth gameplay. So with all that in mind, I'd like to use this video to discuss some ideas I've had for exploration, as well as some ideas I've seen discussed among the forum users and community of Elite Dangerous. Realistically, I feel that Elite can be split up to have 3 different levels of exploration. We have deep space exploration, planetary discovery exploration, as well as surface exploration. So let's take a look at each of these in turn. I think it's also worth keeping in mind that any new gameplay mechanics really should be something more than just a simple time gateway, and by this I mean we need something beyond a scanner that you just sit and wait for 30 seconds to get any feedback from. Personally, I feel that gameplay needs to be both interesting and engaging. Let's take a look at deep space exploration first then. At the moment, in terms of game mechanics, there's very little to this. Basically, it's split into 2 parts. The revealing of planetary bodies within a set system, as well as the discovery of unidentified signal sources within a system. Both of these currently function within an extremely basic manner. The revealing of planets is done through a simple blast of a discovery tool, and the discovery of signal sources is simply done through flying around and waiting for them to spawn. Let's take a look then at what additional elements we can introduce into deep space exploration. In the current beta 7, an update was made to the system map, and although this one was entirely bugged, it's not working as intended, it did show some interesting possibilities nonetheless. Take a look at this. Now, before you run off in disgust, have a bit of a think about what this could mean. Currently, this is the result of an advanced discovery scan. It doesn't let you know what planets are there, it just lets you know that a planet is there. And the planets here are a result of a detailed surface scan. Now, whilst Michael Brooks, the executive producer on the game, has said that this is completely unintended and is bugged and they're going to fix it soon, it nonetheless represents some interesting possibilities. Right now, it represents some problems to be sure because it means more time-gated content. But this just means that they would need to introduce additional game mechanics. Various people have suggested the implementation of different types of scanners, or at the very least a single scanner with multiple functions. At the moment, the Advanced Discovery Scanner works with a single push of a button and magically reveals everything there is to see within a planet. But just imagine a scanner that takes knowledge and experience to use. A scanner that isn't a simple time gate like the Surface Detailed Scanner, but one that requires interaction. A scanner then, through intelligent and skilled use, begins to build up a picture of the current system you are located within. This is the Remap, a very early concept of what Frontier said a system map would look like within Elite Dangerous. Now, this isn't off the table just yet. Frontier have said that maps like this should make an appearance before too much longer, but it might be a while yet. Looking at the work that they've put into the current system map though, I suspect that they are certainly working towards this. And now imagine jumping into a system and having a map just like this one, but only with the bright star at the centre revealed. Now imagine using various tools within the game world, not within the map, to work out where gravitational anomalies are, to work out where planetary orbits are, and from this you get to track down the location and appearance of planets. This could potentially be achieved through in-game skill as well as a variety of in-game tools. And as you do all this Ori map is slowly revealed and becomes fully complete, at which point it's worth a substantial amount of money. This would replace the instant filling in of a map with the Advanced Discovery Scanner by interesting and compelling gameplay, as well as ultimately be very rewarding both in terms of having something you've completed as well as offering a nice financial reward. And along the way, as the game continues to develop, new and interesting things could be introduced, such as the discovery of comets as you see orbiting around the star there, as well as other points of interest within the depths of space, all of which would add to the bonus value for this particular map. Indeed, other systems and game mechanics could then be introduced into that concept. There could be new and interesting space points of interest, there could be rare resources within the depths of space. The mission system could then offer up true exploration missions to chart maps within certain sectors of space, or to go in search of unusual or rare planets, Earth-likes, water worlds or ammonia worlds, or just find resource-rich places. These maps would then represent a real value, both in terms of work spent, time spent and actual physical reward, After all, it would be a nice asset to have something like that to hand, and also represent a nice physical cash reward to whoever you decide to sell it to. The second aspect of exploration I'd like to talk about then is planetary discovery and mapping. Now, planetary discovery under this heading of exploration has a difference to the previous one, because for here it would all be about charting the planet as well as mapping its makeup and its structure. Once again, here is a concept art from Frontier envisioning how the planetary scanning tool would work. So imagine a tool like this that requires both skill and knowledge in order to successfully use. As you're using it, you slowly build up the geological and material makeup of each particular planet. Not only would it reveal the geological makeup of this planet, but it would also provide a complete and detailed planetary map. A map such as this would provide us with extreme levels of detail on the planet, telling us where material deposits are, telling us the best locations at which we can mine, and perhaps even telling us where other precious resources are located, such as gases and things like that. In fact, such detailed maps could come in a variety of forms. Let's take a look at the moment of planetary maps in other games. Each of these shows us different types of information about the planet at hand, and as we build up different types of maps, each of these could then have different types of gameplay associated with them as we go out there and figure out how to extract the various resources or make use of this valuable information. And of course, the different types of scan could be beneficial to different parties. Maybe they have military uses, maybe they have corporate uses, or just maybe the ecological data for some planets could be worthwhile to someone, or even such planets could be of use to heavy industry. Data usage for the purposes such as this could be offered up in the form of missions from the mission board, and would therefore offer another avenue for true exploration-based missions. Onwards then to surface-based exploration, which perhaps has the most potential out of all forms of exploration due to the sheer scale of the planetary surfaces as well as their huge variety. Building upon what we've discussed in the previous sections of building a system map as well as a planetary map, this would take things to a whole new level, offering up extreme fine-tuned detailed information of the planetary surface itself. In terms of gameplay, it would offer up interesting challenges due to the hostile nature of the planetary surfaces. So what sort of things could we do down on the planetary surfaces? Well, taking the detailed surface map that we'd created previously, we could head to the resource-rich areas. We could then collect mineable resources, we could drill for core samples to take back and sell, and of course look for other valuable commodities such as mineable gases and precious stones. And as with before, this can all be offered up in the form of a variety of missions from the mission boards. Maybe, as with before, there'd be a military usage or industrial usage, and I'm sure there'd be value in the geological information found. This isn't to mention all the unusual points of interest that could be down on planets, and that are indeed, by all accounts, already in the game, archaeological sites and other such places of interest. But let's not forget that space is hostile as an environment, and these planets are no less hostile. So maybe when we're down on a hot planet, heat should be taken into account and its effect on our SRV, and heat management should become a serious consideration for day-to-day functioning. Likewise, on cold planets, the lack of heat and extreme cold could present its own set of challenging and unique problems. That's just some thoughts then on what I'd like to see in exploration in future updates. Not an exhaustive list by any means, and some of it may be on the way and some of it may be impossible to actually implement. I'd also like to thank some of the people I've had discussions with on exploration over the previous months, some of whose ideas are actually discussed just now. These include people like Dr. Kai, Zillian and Commander Eramus, along with many others of course, many of whom are on the forums. I hope then that you found this an interesting video and that it can serve as some food for thought. I'd also love to hear from your thoughts and feelings on what you'd like to see for the future of exploration. Do let me know in the comments section below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.